Hello fans of Marvel Heroes. First of all, my apologies for the lack of videos lately because I have been trying very hard to get the recording software to work for the latest AMD driver and only got it working last night, and I've been having some issue with YouTube processing as well. So anyway, I've done a video on Thor, but I hope that while waiting for that to get sorted out, let me just do a very quick video on the team up here, which is called the Beta Ray build. And now Beta Ray build is one of the team up whereby it's very nice to go with Thor, because when you play as Thor, then it's Beta Ray build. But if you are using the enhanced costume, the Beta Ray build for Thor, then this becomes Thor instead. So it's some kind of dual purpose there when it comes to the team up. And also, that is one costume. Another costume that you could consider is the let me show you. Is the King Thor as well. So the King Thor is very much the same way, although they renamed the power a little bit differently, because Thor will Mjolnir while we have the Stormbreaker for Beta Ray build. But in any case, I mean the power is more or less the same. So what this video is about is to show you what's the optimal way to allocate the pawns when it comes to Beta Ray build or King Thor. So I mean the first thing you always do is to observe the power. So for example, you can summon the Beta Ray build, and he hits pretty fast as well. It's like a 3 attack speed equals to 3, and if you can add the this tool, which is the Kobe Knight Smite, all right. So that would be something that you can see that he dropped down here, and with the kind of like a damage over time layer to it. Then you could also for Asgard, which is also something quite interesting. So that was the Smite, and after that is for Asgard. It's just like a kind of like a punch, or it just hit on the floor pretty hard. Then you have the Stormbreaker, which is okay. So I'm going to show you the Stormbreaker. I will show you a little bit. Okay, so that was the kind of like lightning, the call on it. So yeah, it's always good to observe what the team up can do, and sometimes some of these things that it doesn't really tell you what the attack speed is, like the arcing hammer. So when you do some theory crafting on team up, you probably have to isolate this only power and to count the number of hit it has per power. So that is something that usually the tooltip is not that helpful when it comes to theory crafting. Off Brother as well. I mean, it's something that he get like a blue thing around like this, and after that it has all these like lightning things to continue doing the damage over time. Again, you have to time how many times you really hit. What's the rate of fire? So it is twice per second. Then you can have all these like passive on it as well. Then last but not the least, but the anti-force, which is very much like the Thor signature as well. That you see like this one here. So when it comes to the allocation, just to recap, from what I've usually advise people is that 1 point is always better than no point, because getting 1 point you get half of the benefit. You put 15 points, you get the full benefit. So 1 point is really worth it. It beats the default power. Usually it beats that. I mean, even with the gear, it beats it. But do check it yourself whether it beats or not. But I'm pretty sure that all of this will beat the basic power. So 1 point on each one is a must. So now the idea of theory crafting team up is that for every point, for every rank you must gain a DPS that is the highest, right? So it doesn't matter which one it is. So you have to pick the one that has the highest potential. For every point you invest, you get more DPS. The base, you can't do anything about it, because that's how the game is designed. So from my calculation, I'll show you the spreadsheet later. So this one, I'll advise you to max it. This one, I advise you to max it, and the signature to max as well. That will put the team up to a pretty good shape. And after that, I'll advise the remaining pawn to be on the off brother. All right. So the remaining stuff just stay as it is, no change to it. All right. So that is what I'll advise you in terms of team up. In terms of team up gear, is always if you can get some special power. Those are base damage to special power. Those are really good. Brutal strike rating is very important, because the team up itself doesn't really have it. Then anything on the crit, anything on the plus base damage, those are pretty good as well. I mean, of course, you have to balance between what the stat for the team up versus stat for your hero. So you have to make a decision whether you use the team up as the as the companion or as just a passive. All right. So in terms of passive, it's very nice. It has a godlike strength, which is plus 300 damage rating to melee power. Also, it has a plus 6% base health. Alternatively, you could consider Drax as well. Drax has similar buff as well. All right, so that is one for the total passive. If you want to use him as just a passive in raid and so on. The other power is very much like deal the Heart of Storm half damage. So whatever here goes here. And then this one is also like deal a portion of 150% of the off brother and whatnot. So this one sums up to here. Not really ideal because this tree is not really known for the highest DPS, but yeah, it is what it is. All right, so that is the allocation itself. In terms of spreadsheet, if you are interested to know, it looks something like this one. So what I usually do is break down by rank. You don't really need to break down 1, 5, 10, 15 when you do your theory crafting. I do it just for due diligence to make sure that 15 point is 200% of the 1 point. All right. Sometimes it's not the case. Like the Agent Carlson, his signature is actually 240% instead of 200%. So cannot always assume that it's working the same way, and I just would like to make sure that I'm keying in the right number as well, because the lesser data point, if you make an error, you can't really tell. So now I can tell that these are the DPS gain per rank. So for the coordinate smite is 397, the Heart of Storm is 318, for Asgard is 517, so on and so forth. So you can immediately see some of these are pretty, not that great. And if you follow some of my video talking about team up allocation, passive is 1 point, range is not as great as melee. If you follow those things, by and large, I think you're fine. Then off brother versus the battlefield charge is very little. Then the anti-force is this much. So, at the end of the day, what this take-home message is that there is a vast difference between the point invest in, say, battlefield charge versus the highest one, which is the anti-force. So, do make that decision yourself. So my advice is to pick all these 3 power to max it, because those will gain you the max DPS. So your job is really convert the points, or you only have 60 of them, into DPS. You can't do anything with the base, but what you can do is to make sure that whatever points you gain through this system is the most. All right. So just a short video is a stopgap before I can get my Thor video to be up and running. I'm still hoping that YouTube will get it sorted. So meanwhile, any questions and so on, do drop me a note. All right, see you next time. Goodbye.